Dumelang, welcome to Face the Nation. My name is Clement Manyatela. Great to have you with us here on SABC News. On the show tonight, what should public officials do when politicians or their superiors force them to implement unlawful instructions? Well, the National Police Commissioner, Masemola, has detailed at the Madlanga Commission how he was put under pressure by Police Minister Kunene to implement unlawful instructions to disband the political killings task team. Other former top cops have come out to discuss the pressure that they've been put under from politicians. So what do you do as a public official when you are instructed to implement an unlawful decision? Professor Somatota Fikeni is the Public Service Commissioner. He joins us tonight. Also on the show, an investigation commissioned by the Patriotic Alliance has cleared the party's deputy, Kunene, from any wrongdoing regarding his presence at the home of the accused murderer, Katiso Molefe. Kunene was found at Molefe's house when he was being arrested 2 months ago. Kunene joins us tonight. And then later, President Cyril Ramaphosa is expected to address the United Nations General Council during the general debate of the high-level segment of the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly. We'll take you there live. But first, my comment. So, the National Police Commissioner, Masemola, has wrapped up his testimony, well, day 2 of his testimony at the Madlanga Commission today. The Commissioner has confirmed that Police Minister Kunene was hell-bent on pushing for the disbandment of the KZN political killings task team, despite the successes and breakthroughs that the PKTT was registering. He told the Commission that at some point, the Minister claimed that his instruction to disband the political killings task team had the support of the President.
At some point during the meeting, the Minister stated that he did not understand why we were so adamant that the PKTT must not be disbanded. Then he said that the President is in agreement that the PTT be disbanded. I was quite taken aback by his revelation, since it was the President who, knowing about the effectiveness of the PKTT, had requested the PKTT to deploy to assist with the Forte cases, murder and investigations. Moreover, the President, in our last briefing on the PKTT, was satisfied with the performance.
He says the arrest of Vusmuzi Ket Matlala has helped the police understand the real motive behind the minister's instruction that the task team be disbanded. But the chair of the commission, if you remember yesterday, asked Masemola why he ended up agreeing to implement an instruction that was unlawful. And of course, General Masemola came out to explain that he was put under pressure by the Minister of Police. Here's what he said.
Now let me be direct and ask you about yourself. If you were to find yourself in such a situation, would you disobey the minister? If the minister were to give you an instruction that strays onto operational or managerial matters, would you, General Masemola, say to the minister, I am not going to obey that?
Yeah, it depends, Commissioner, but yes, I will. It's a matter that is career limiting, but
it depends on what?
It depends on how he does it.
It's simple. It's yes. Simple.
So, is it an unlawful instruction or not? Well, the former KZN Hawks head, Johan Boysen, has also indicated that he was put under pressure during his tenure and often given unlawful instructions. But he says he refused to cooperate with those instructions regardless of the pressure that he was under.
I think it speaks for itself. If we continue in this vein, we can almost see an implosion of leadership within SABC. And that eventually permeates down to grassroots level. It impacts on day-to-day policing matters. One thing that struck me yesterday, Liesl, was almost an admission by the National Commissioner that the instruction that he was given was unlawful. I'm a bit concerned that he had placed himself in a position where he executed an unlawful instruction.
So, as you can hear there, Mr. Boyson believes that in his case, he was met with unlawful instructions and he refused to concede to them. And he says he was surprised that with General Masemola, and of course, albeit what General Masemola has said, that he tried, of course, to go to try and reason with the police minister. He tried to go to the president, but there was no success. And he ended up sort of agreeing that, okay, if we are going to really disband the political killing stars team, let's do it in a phased approach. So the question we're asking you tonight, in fact, two questions I'm asking you is, do you think that the National Police Commissioner had no choice but to end up agreeing to disband this political killing stars team, albeit in a phased approach? Or do you think, on top of advising the minister against that decision and speaking to the president, he should have stood his ground and refused to comply with the minister's instruction? And do you think that the president needs to appear before the inquiry now that the National Commissioner has confirmed that he told him about the minister's instructions to disband the political killings task team? You can send us a WhatsApp voice note right now on 078 459 1897. Remember to tell us your name and your surname and where you're sending that voice note from. Alternatively, you can send us an X on @FaceTheNation SABC. Let's stay with the story now and bring in Professor Somatota Fikeni, who is the chairperson of the Public Service Commission, who joins us now via video link. Professor Fikeni, thank you so much for making time for us. Good evening.
Good evening, Clement, and good evening to your viewers.
The National Police Commissioner has confirmed during his testimony that he tried to speak to the minister to advise him against this decision to disband the task team. He says he also tried to speak to the president, but nothing changed. And that's why he ended up going ahead with implementing this unlawful instruction, as he called it, in a way that doesn't compromise the political killings task team's dockets. And I suppose the question is, what should public officials, the technocrats, do when they receive unlawful instructions from their superiors or from politicians, the executive authority?
Well, let me first make this disclaimer that I will not be addressing the merits of the case or the commission that is going on, but I'll speak to the general policies and the guidelines in terms of the unlawful instruction, because it's something that the Public Service Commission has been working on. As early as 2002, we released our first guidelines on unlawful instruction and handling ethical dilemma. And we updated this in 2021, and we've had workshops. So the first thing for accounting officers, for public officials, is to make sure that they familiarize themselves with those particular guidelines. And the second one, Life Esidimeni indicated that even if you get instructions from your own political head or accounting authority, you will not be absolved from accountability, because you ought to know. The first thing when you see that there is an unlawful instruction coming your way, insist on formalizing that in writing. The second one, where you believe you may be trying to avoid a direct clash with your superior or with the minister or MEC or any other political heads, you then have to request that a legal opinion, whether the state attorney or state law advisors, are brought into the picture, or you can even bring in the Public Service Commission and so forth.
Okay.
Those are some of the ways of dealing with this particular problem.
In this case, and I know you won't get into the merits, but I want to use this to try and get the listeners to understand where we're going with this conversation. In this case with the commissioner, the national commissioner says, I tried to reason with the minister. I spoke to the president as well, and I was stuck. So in such attempts, do such attempts then justify ultimately agreeing to implement whatever unlawful instruction was given? Because if you don't, as the commissioner said, that's career limiting. So in an instance where a public officer has tried to reason, has tried to even escalate the matter, and they are not winning, and they end up implementing that unlawful instruction, are you suggesting that they can still be absolved of responsibility?
Not at all. In fact, one does not have to underplay how complex such dilemmas are and the consequences that may come. But at the same time, you will not be absolved from accountability. And one other thing one should note, one should avoid saying so-and-so says this following, but rather confirm in writing, even to the superiors, because in the end, it might be a situation where the two parties, one is trying to drop names or is trying to persuade or trying to put pressure. But if you have that in writing and you still say the legal advisors are not in agreement, that's when you can be insulated from this.
Yeah. And of course, Prof, this is what many public servants experience out there. And as you say, it's easy for us to sit here and judge them when they are put under pressure to do certain things. But many of them have to make some serious considerations and can't afford to lose their jobs. So how does government protect honest, ethical public servants from being forced to do what is unlawful? Because some of them do, but they still end up, even when they've put their foot down, they still end up losing their jobs.
It is not just government alone, as we have seen in the past. It's your constitutional bodies, such as the AG, Public Protector, it's the Public Service Commission, it's Parliament doing its own oversight and accountability exercise. It is the public itself putting pressure, and it is the political leaders themselves. So it's the ecosystem of accountability and transparency that should be strengthened, and public consciousness, so that those who are still steeped on such unlawful instructions can be ostracized, can be isolated, and be called out. But it is not left just to that particular individual. But we should always know, I mean, I know it personally myself, at times you'd have to be removed from the board chairpersonship because you said A, B, C, D, E cannot happen because it is against the law. That's the risk you take. You may say, I'm trying to protect my career, but guess what? If there is a commission or there are revelations and there are cases down the line and you realize that you thought you were protecting your career, only to end up having a damage to your brand, it may have long-term consequences.
Yeah. So sometimes, this line of responsibility gets blurred, Prof, between executive oversight and accounting officers. So where do you draw the line, as a politician, so that you don't interfere in the running of the department by an accounting officer? Because, in this case, Senzo Mchunu took a decision that was operational in its nature, which is not where he should play. But sometimes you've got politicians who complain that, since the expectation is for the executive authority not to get involved in operational aspects of these departments or units, they always ask, how do we then effectively exercise oversight and ensure effective administration then?
There is a difference between interference and intervention. There are powers which are defined, hence we have had workshops on the political administrative interface, wherein you say, you cannot say to your minister or to your administration, which has put priorities, you have signed a performance agreement, you are going to achieve A, B, C, D, E. When they're insisting that you promised you have not delivered, that's not interference. But once they give you unlawful instruction, that's interference. Once they move from their role of providing strategic direction and oversight, and they get into day-to-day operations, or they bypass some of the individuals in the chain of command, that's interference, and that's getting into the space of operation. I think it's a matter of us strengthening our onboarding process, our induction processes, as well as the reminders. Otherwise, the roles are clear. Most of the time when people get into operations, or when people get into these other spaces and confuse the two, it's not because they don't know. But we must also remember, in some instances, it's not just the politicians or the ministers, it's the officials who then will say, these people are interfering with me when they are not meeting the targets.
Yeah.
So it takes two to tangle. In some instances, we've found out that this official has not been meeting the targets, is not doing what the department has promised. Whenever they are being asked, they say, you are being operational. That's not being operational. But once the minister gets into the minute details and the operations, when the roles are clearly defined, that's where interference comes in.
Yeah, Professor Somato Tafikeni, thank you so much for making time for us. He's the Public Service Commissioner, helping us understand what really you should be doing as a public official if you are faced with these instructions that are unlawful, or politicians who are now dabbling in operational matters. Because clearly this is what the National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola experienced with the Police Minister Senzo Mchunu. Stay with us. We'll be back after the break. Welcome back. Just a reminder that we're waiting for President Cyril Ramaphosa to start his address at the United Nations General Council. As soon as he begins, we'll take you there live and come back to wrap up the show and continue with our conversation. This is the story that we're looking at now. An investigation into alleged criminal connections involving Patriotic Alliance Deputy President Kunene has cleared him of any wrongdoing. The investigation was commissioned by the party after Kunene was found at the Senton home of Katiso Molefe in July, when police pounced on the controversial businessman. Molefe faces charges related to the murders of DJ Somebody, whose real name is Opa Sefoka, and Hector DJ Vintos Butelezi. Kenny Kunene joins us now in studio. Kenny, thank you so much for making time for us.
Thank you for having me. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, you must feel relieved that you have been cleared now by this report.
Yes, I indeed feel relieved. I feel vindicated. But I've always maintained my innocence. But I'm happy that a reputable firm in Cliff Decker Hofmeyer was commissioned to do this investigation. This is what they do. And they've come to this conclusion.
I went through the report this afternoon. I noticed that they spoke to you, they spoke to the editor of this news agency, the journalist, and this Jabu gentleman that will not be, of course, mentioned, the one who connected you to KT Molefe. Why didn't they speak to the police as well? I understand with KT Molefe because he's in jail. Did they not want to hear the version from the police?
I don't know. That question will have to go to them. I really don't know why they didn't speak to the police. They never discussed it with me.
Okay. But do you understand why it would have been important for them to get the side of the police? So that it's not just one side of the story where it's people that are connected to you that are, of course, going to corroborate your version. And I'm not saying your version was wrong, but it would help to get another side, like get to the police and say, what did you notice about Kenny Kunene when he was at this house?
Yeah, I think I mentioned what transpired there. The police were not there for me, and but I wouldn't know why they didn't speak to the police. I think they felt that they were not an important aspect of this investigation. But I don't know. I can't answer for them.
So Steve Mutale is the editor of this news platform.
Yes.
But unfortunately, he couldn't go with this journalist to go and interview KT Molefe.
Yeah.
From my understanding of the report is that he was not well, and he has provided evidence to that effect. Who is this young journalist that you had to accompany to the story?
It's Bianca Binase. Yes.
Tell me more about Bianca. Is he an experienced journalist?
No.
Did Bianca need you to come with?
He's not an experienced journalist. I always get inquiries, even from my relatives, that they would want to venture into journalism.
Yeah.
I get inquiries from journalists at universities that they want to make ends meet, so therefore they want an opportunity. So it's one of those people that have got this burning desire for journalism, and he was just fortunate that he was available at a time when we made that decision.
Why didn't you guys run the story that Katiso Molefe has just been arrested?
Clement, you know, there's exclusive stories and breaking stories.
Yeah.
If you had followed Africa News Global from the time of its inception when it was launched, and I think you know, when it was launched, it was at the Masemola Hotel. Ministers were there, deputy ministers were there, people from different political parties were there, and business people. Its focus is exclusive news. Now, a breaking story, and if you follow it for all these years, it does not put much emphasis or concentration on breaking news, because a breaking news is you are breaking, somebody who breaks it also. We focus more on exclusive news. So it was not necessary for us to break such news. The journalist was there. The journalist was traumatized. The police just came in with guns, with a Casper, hidden faces. So I think that's not the focal point of Africa News Global. Africa News Global wants exclusive stories, and that's what we are known for. That's what it has been doing.
So, but when someone is being arrested, I mean, a story can both be breaking and exclusive. Can we agree on that? Because there are certain stories, they're just breaking news stories. Like Funny Masemola arrives at the state capture at the Madlanga Commission. There are some news agencies that would break that. But there are certain stories that are breaking news, but they're also exclusive. At the time of Katiso Molefe's arrest, nobody knew about it.
No. Breaking news can be exclusive. A cop, by the way, same day, people knew that Molefe was arrested.
But later on.
So breaking news is what you break without detail. It's just a statement, breaking news. This is what's happening. It's a developing story. That's not the model. That's not the character of Africa News Global. The character of Africa News Global is to investigate, is to bring the detail. So your news, these other online newspapers, I don't want to mention them and give them free publicity. These white-owned ones, no, those ones like breaking news.
Okay. The last time I interviewed Steve Motala, I went on the website, and I didn't only find exclusive stories on the website. So if I go on the website now, if you deal with exclusive stories, then I should only find exclusive stories.
No.
I can't.
No. That's our focal point. When we started, we had an arrangement with Reuters, where we take stories of Reuters and plug them in, where we take stories of independent newspapers, IOL, and plug them in. So we have those relationships where we take stories and plug them in. But our focal point is exclusive stories. And even the stories that would plug them in, the journalists will look at the story. Is it worth us taking and plugging it in? So we even sourced stories from Reuters. We paid Reuters per month so that we can source stories, international stories, continental stories, South African stories, of which your other online newspapers and newspapers do the same. So we are professional online newspaper. That's why I'm making this example of Reuters, of independent newspapers. So we do take stories from them because we have that arrangement.
What's your relationship with this journalist that has written this idea, that was with you at Katiso Molefe's house? Because I saw in the report it says you guys were busy shopping for stuff for your house in the Free State, if I'm not mistaken, when you received the call from this gentleman who said you need to go to Katiso Molefe's house for this interview.
Yeah, so sorry. When I was doing the shopping, I knew that there was going to be an interview, and that's why I took the journalist with me, because I didn't know what time until I was informed about the time of 12 o'clock. So that's why I took him to go with me, so that when the call comes and the address comes in, then we go there. And I don't know, Clement, what's your angle to go back to what has been investigated? Are you saying the investigation and the inquiry by Cliff Decker Hofmeyer is not sufficient to with the report that has come out?
Not at all. What
so
I want to try to do,
why are you going back?
Because I've never had the opportunity to talk to you.
Okay,
right?
no, that's fine.
And there are viewers out there that have never had the opportunity to hear you explain yourself. So that's why
they've had me on different news channels, including SABC.
Yeah, and there have been lots of developments since what happened. So that's why it's important for me to lay the foundation, because there's a long conversation I want to have with you, but it's important to lay that conversation. In fact, I'm going to take a quick ad break. When we come back, we're going to continue this conversation with Kenny Kunene, the Deputy President of the Patriotic Alliance. Stay with us. Welcome back. We continue our conversation with Kenny Kunene, who has been cleared by an independent investigation that was commissioned by the Patriotic Alliance that looked at what happened when he arrived at the home of Katiso Molefe at the time of his arrest. Mr. Kunene, you were just explaining that you had gone shopping with this young journalist. You're saying you took this young journalist shopping with you because you knew that you were anticipating a call, that you must go do the investigation.
Yes.
Yeah.
The interview.
Okay. But is there any other relation with him? Because on the report, I think they refer to you as his uncle.
Yes.
Okay. With the news platform that you have, you are dealing with exclusives. Were you confident together with Mr. Motale that this is a person who can handle a story like that is an exclusive? Because my understanding is he has no experience in journalism. Does he?
Yes. That is why I was there. Remember, with these type of stories that are very sensitive, the people would want a senior person.
Yes.
And Mr. Motale was supposed to be that person. Mm-hmm. But because the confirmation came the same day, then Mr. Motale was not available. We could not miss that opportunity.
When did the confirmation come?
In the morning.
Okay.
And that is why I also went with the journalist, because of the sensitivity. Look, I took Mr. Motale to go interview President Jacob Zuma.
Yes.
I accompanied him. So it's not a new thing for us to accompany. And I've learned since 2016 when I started getting into the media space, the likes of Mr. Motale have also taught me journalism, how things work. Yes, I'm not a journalist, but at least I understand. I've sat with him interviewing very prominent people, and I'm mentioning one now, President Jacob Zuma, of which he has interviewed him not once. So that is why I was there, so that guidance can be given.
You were going to provide the guidance to the young journalist.
We could not miss that opportunity to interview. By the way, Mr. Motale has also assisted with preparing the journalist in terms of the questions that must be asked. So it's not a...
What do you understand about journalism to guide him when he's busy doing his work, this young journalist?
What do I understand about journalism?
No, I'm saying, what kind of guidance were you going to give him? Because as someone who is not necessarily trained as a journalist, you're saying they're at least training him.
Follow-up questions.
Or you're going to help do the interview.
He might perhaps ask a question. Yeah. And the response is not sufficient. And I might be able to then say, no, this is a follow-up question that we need to get the details. So that would be the type of assistance that I would give.
Yeah. Are you still not comfortable to tell us who is the person that connected you to Katiso Molefe?
I am comfortable, but the person is not comfortable.
Oh, he's not comfortable with it?
Yes.
Who else was at the house when you arrived there with this young journalist?
It was Mr. Molefe and his kids.
And his kids?
Boys.
Was Malcolm X not there, the businessman?
No. Why would he be there?
Because he has already said, in fact, when I interviewed him, that he was at the house. He was called to come to the house because someone needed help. They told him that there are some police officers at the house of Katiso Molefe.
You are confusing Malcolm's story and our story.
No, I'm
Malcolm
trying to
was at the house with the first arrest.
Okay. So Malcolm was not at the house with the
I was at the house with the second arrest.
Okay.
So it's two different things.
Okay.
Malcolm was there with the first arrest. We were not there. So Malcolm was not there with the second arrest when we were there.
So Malcolm X is not the person that shared this information with you at all.
What information?
That connected you to Katiso Molefe.
No. It's not Malcolm X.
Okay. There are questions being asked around, and I'm sure you've seen at the State Capture, at the Madlanga Commission. I keep on referring to the State Capture Commission. At the Madlanga Commission,
yes,
there are people that are trying to connect the dots here about the business people in Gauteng. And some people come up and try to mention your name to try and link you to some of the people that are linked to people like Ket Matlala and Katiso Molefe. How do you respond to that? Because that has brought in allegations that you may be involved, as you know, in the criminal syndicate.
Yeah.
Are you at all connected to these individuals that have been found wanting by the SAPS?
But then you're talking about individuals. You must be specific. I have responded to the issue of Mr. Molefe.
Yeah.
It was investigated and inquiry happened. If you mention Ket Matlala, I can tell you now that I don't have Ket Matlala's phone number. We have never called each other. So there's no business between me, Ket Matlala.
Yeah.
There's no business. So there's no relationship. We have never ever called each other. So I don't know which other business.
Morgan Hangwani Maumela, do you know him?
No.
Malcolm X, you know?
Come on, man. Malcolm worked for me at ZA.
Yeah. And Serge Kabonge as well, you know?
Serge Kabonge has been a client from 2010 at ZA.
Yeah.
Serge Kabonge has driven with me when I go DJ. I know these people.
Do you get shocked when such people are connected to these guys that are now behind bars? Because Serge Kabonge is connected to Ket Matlala and Morgan Maumela. These are people
connected
that he
how,
says,
Clement?
He told me that these are his close business associates. In fact, at some point, he referred to Ket Matlala as a friend.
Yes, that is his friend. It's not my friend. I know you. I don't know who you know.
True.
So who you know is not my issue. My issue is me knowing you.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking, did it concern you? Did it even shock you that someone like Kabonge would say that he's even close friends with someone like Shadrach Sibia? Did this come as a shock to you as a fellow friend or an associate?
Shadrach Sibia is a cop. What is the problem? You see, Ket.
Ket.
You know, I'm calling you Ket because there's a video of you and President, and people are saying you are Ket Matlala. Yeah. So I was not shocked. Okay. There's no shock. People know each other. Malcolm is in the business. He's in the entertainment business. He's, as he says, a super consultant. He knows many people. Malcolm will shock you bringing a president of Nigeria to ZA. Malcolm will shock you bringing a president of Ghana to Rivonia on deck when we had these businesses. So there's no shock. These people know people. Both of them are in the entertainment space. Serge was called the blesser, the international blesser. They are in the... So they know people. Same as me. I was in the entertainment space for long. I know people. I know a lot of people. People come to my place. They come and buy alcohol and celebrate. Yeah. They come and enjoy themselves. I know these people.
But not everybody can call a deputy national police commissioner their close friend. I mean, it's not even an acquaintance or a friend.
What is the problem?
No, I'm not.
Clement.
So the problem becomes when there is an allegation from the KZN General Commissioner who says there are certain business people, especially here in the province of Gauteng, who have been protected by top cops. And Shadrach Sibia's name has been mentioned there. So that's why some South Africans are trying to connect the dots here. And I'm not suggesting for a second, I don't think they are, that for some reason Serge Kabonge is involved in some level of criminality, but they're trying to connect the dots. If Shadrach Sibia is accused of protecting some business people, and there's some business people that are coming up who are close with business people that have been arrested, that are in jail right now, and that business person says, oh, that's my best friend. I mean, that surely
I will be
is supposed
shocked
to make you think.
What will shock me is when the evidence is put here that Malcolm X has got this criminal activity with whoever. Serge has got this criminal activity with Ket Matlala. That will shock me. But knowing people,
being close friends with them,
knowing people and saying they are your close friends, you might have close friends that you don't know what they are doing. You hang out with people. If you drink, Clement, you would be in the presence of your friend who has brought friends, and you wouldn't know what those friends do.
Yeah.
And he'll introduce them to you as business people.
Yes, and I suppose the difference is in this case, Shadrach Sibiya is connected, according to the allegations by Mkonazi, to Ket Matlala. Ket Matlala is an associate, a close associate of Serge Kabonge.
I think Shadrach Sibiya is quite capable of defending himself or responding to these allegations, including Serge Kabonge, including Malcolm X. They are very capable of defending themselves. Let's allow them to defend themselves or to put their side of the story.
Okay.
I think Shadrach Sibiya will respond to those matters. I can't speak on his behalf. I can't speak for him. He's, I think, also going to go to the commission. We will hear his side of the story.
Yeah. Look, I just wanted to give you that opportunity because, as you know, there are allegations.
Malcolm has been my boy for years. He has worked for me at ZA. Serge Kabonge has been a client at ZA.
Did you know about the relationships they had with
I didn't
top
know.
cops?
I didn't know.
Okay. What were you doing at the Hawks offices? Immediately after this story broke about you being found at Katiso Molefe's house, there were pictures of you circulating. And I did read the story on your news website about what you had reported to the Hawks. Can you explain to our viewers what that was about?
So what happened is there's somebody that called me in May claiming to be a general of the Hawks, General Masunuke, General Masunuke, and he had a picture, a profile picture in May. I tried to ignore. He was asking for money, there's a case against me, wara, wara, wara. And I knew that he was lying, and I could have just blocked him. But I said to myself, what if these people are also extorting vulnerable South Africans? Let me take this matter to the Hawks. Let me see who is this Hawks person on the profile picture. And I met with Warrant Officer Thabo Lefoponyani. And I showed him the picture. I showed him the number. He said, this is not the number of the Hawks. I showed him the profile picture. He said, this is my colleague. I just left him in Krugersdorp. This is Captain Lefalibito. And he would never call people asking for e-wallets and 50,000 rands. And then we called the captain. The captain said, hey, I want to see that. Then Warrant Officer Thabo then said, no, look, I will arrange. I'm now going to National. I'm being deployed there. I will arrange with people who handle this type of cases at Germiston offices. So that was on the 12th of June when I met this warrant officer. And on the 22nd of July, he then gave me a call to say, look, Captain Libito is available. He's at Germiston offices tomorrow. And the person who will investigate your matter is also available. So on the 23rd, I then drove in the morning to the Hawks offices to go and write an official statement so that an official investigation can now start. And I met Captain Libito, whose profile picture was put there, and he confirmed this is him, but he does not have this picture, which means this picture was taken at Rent Easter Show, where the Hawks had a gazebo and they were interacting with the public.
So have the police found this person who was pretending to be the Hawks general trying to extort money from you?
So what has happened? The IO then said to me when we were sitting in the office, the two of us taking a statement, he said, Brakeni, this crime is widespread. People have lost money, and every time we try to follow the phone number, it is in prisons. So we can't arrest these people because the people that they sent to get the money, or these guys sent e-wallets, we don't know who they sent. So it's very difficult for us, but we've got so many cases reported of these calls that can people impersonating the Hawks or impersonating state security. So I said to him, let's work together. Let me get the rat out of the hole because I know the mind of a criminal. Because I've been managing this guy from May. And we then agreed. On the 25th, I went back to the offices of the Hawks. Fortunately, there was no picture then, where I went to update my statement so that an entrapment can happen. And then on the 28th, I agreed with this guy because he called me on the 25th and on the 26th. I said to him, let's meet on Monday. He said, no, you and I must not meet. Let me send my runner. You send your runner, let them meet. And then you get the 50,000, I will deal with your case. And the Hawks advised me that the venue I give them must be in Sandton and it must be a a single entrance place. I thought of Macro Woodmead. I gave the guy the time of 3 o'clock. He sent his runner. We were there. I had my private security because the hawks were delayed to arrive on time because of the internal processes of entrapment. I said, I can't leave this opportunity. We are going to do a citizen's arrest. And the guy called me. He said, the guy is in a blue car. I said, let him walk to a MPV. This is the color of the MPV. He walked there. He was given a box of shoes with a bottle of champagne inside and a little bit of money so that it's got weight. And after he grabbed it, we then grabbed him with the security, my private security, put him in the car, drove to Sandton police station. I called the station commander and he said, look, there's somebody that will receive you there. I called the Hawks. The Hawks came. They then received him. They found us at Sandton police station. We handed him over. He's a reservist police officer from Jabulani police station. He then confirmed to us whilst we were waiting for the Hawks that he was sent by somebody who was married to his cousin, late cousin, and this person is at Sun City prison.
Why is the police being sent by a prisoner to
That's
go
the
collect
question
something?
we are asking. That's the question we asked him. So, so these guys are in prisons. Even in KZN, there are these guys who make calls in prisons, then they send people on the outside. And I want to send a message, Clement, whilst I'm here, to South Africans. Stop being told that we have got cases. Even if you have got a case, don't send e-wallets. No general of the Hawks will ask for an e-wallet. If anybody says they want money from you, meet them at the police station. If anybody says they're investigating your case, meet them at the police station. This extortion is rife. People are losing money. There's a gentleman that lost 900,000. There's a guy that was caught at the airport with 350,000 that was taken to KZN to be extorted. Because these guys, they look at what is happening to you in the public space, and then they start calling you and say...
But then if you're innocent also, why would you want to pay that money?
Like me, I was innocent. That's why I trapped them, and I did that so that I can assist the Hawks to at least break the case and have factual information where these people are. Now the Hawks know that these people are in prisons. However, this police reservist has agreed that he will go and identify this person in prison because he knows him. They are relatives, sort of. So the Hawks now are busy with that process of making sure that this finds conclusion. So I did well in this instance with the citizen's arrest to help the Hawks, but also to help South Africans.
So, have you spoken to the mayor of Johannesburg? He removed you when your investigation was underway.
He did not remove me. I resigned.
You resigned.
My party asked me to resign as the MMC. I then said, let me also resign as a councillor.
Have you spoken to him ever since? Because Gayton Mackenzie has come out to say that if you're not being reinstated, then you're going to withdraw as the Patriotic Alliance from the GNU.
Indeed. Look, we have been very patient with the ANC. They have refused, in fact, to appoint Liam Jacobs. The mayor has acted. The mayor has acted as an MMC. Now, Clement, listen to this. The mayor has acted as an MMC of transport. It's like the president acting as a minister. It's like the premier acting as an MEC. It has never been done. It is unheard of. You appoint a person and you go act in their position. So the mayor has put himself there. He wants to put the EFF there. So we negotiated 5 years transport. The EFF has got their own departments that they've negotiated for 5 years. So we have been patient with the ANC. This matter has gone to ROB, it has gone to the province, and we understand it has been taken to national. So indeed, if I am not appointed as the MMC for transport, we are withdrawing as the Patriotic Alliance from this coalition.
When were you cleared by the investigation?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. So are you expecting that the mayor should have made the changes already by now?
No. The president of the Patriotic Alliance has given 7 days. We started the process today of getting me back as a councillor. We are hoping that it will be finalized by Friday. And then, that's why he gave 7 days. so that by next week, as soon as I'm sworn in as a councillor on Friday or on Saturday, because the speaker can swear you anytime. Once I'm sworn in, then we expect the mayor to then appoint me as the MMC. The same way it happened when I came in. I was sworn in as a councillor, and same time I was appointed as the MMC.
But why are you issuing out threats already?
It's not a threat.
Well, the gate in Mackenzie says if Kenny Kunene is not.
It's not a threat, it's a fact.
Yeah, but why
we
you
have
not?
been impatient.
Have you spoken to
From
the mayor?
July, we have been impatient.
But the mayor wouldn't have appointed you then because you had not been cleared. You were only cleared yesterday.
No, but you are supposed to appoint my replacement, Liam Jacobs. That's what we gave the ANC. And the Patriotic Alliance does not negotiate coalitions with the mayor. It negotiates coalition with the ANC. And the ANC will put people that will negotiate coalitions. And these are the people that we engage with. The regional secretary in the region, the provincial chairperson would be the premier, the provincial secretary, and whoever else that they bring.
Was Liam Jacobs the right person for the job?
Those are the people that we negotiate with.
Yeah.
And those negotiations come after we have met national. So we met with national of the ANC.
I get that, Kenny.
In 2021.
But I'm saying, was Liam Jacobs the right person for the job?
Yes,
because,
of course.
Did he have capacity to be the MMC?
He was
did
an
he have
MP.
some experience?
Hello? He was an MP.
What reason did
he
the
was
Johannesburg
doing good
mayor
work
give?
as an MP. You have MMCs here who don't have metric that are being deployed everywhere. So you can't even ask me about Liam having capacity. He's more capacitated.
What concerns did the Johannesburg mayor raised around him? Because there were concerns about, is this person going to be able to run that?
That was an excuse. The mayor, the day we were voting for mayor, Dada Morero, in 2023, on the day we were going to cancel to vote for him to be mayor, he had a meeting with me and the Treasurer General of the Patriotic Alliance. So he was meeting political parties. It was him in the meeting. It was the regional secretary of the ANC, Sasabona Manganye. Then it was myself and the Treasurer General of the Patriotic Alliance, Anthea Lish. He then said to me in that meeting, I am thinking of swapping you with the EFF. You go to public safety, EFF goes to transport. I said no. The Patriotic Alliance has negotiated 5 years, and I would want to finish so that when I give a report of my performance, it's a 5 years. And he said, okay, it's fine, I understand. So the mayor has been having this thing with the Secretary General of the EFF to swap both of us. When I got to council, the MMC of Public Safety, Mdeni Chwaku, came to me and said, I understand we are being swapped. I said no. Dada just told me that, and I said no.
Yeah.
He said, no, my Secretary General told me that we are being swapped. They have agreed with Dada. So he has had this thing. I don't know why he wants the EFF to take transport. So, and I was clear then.
That's not going to be
so
the
Liam
case.
Jacobs' age or inexperience is an excuse. There are more useless MMCs in this country that Liam Jacobs will eat for breakfast.
Yeah. What happens after
highly capacitated young man?
What happens after 7 days? So is Gayton Mackenzie then going to resign as Minister of Arts and Culture?
No, we are talking about the GLU.
Yeah.
And if we
GNU.
decide that he will also resign in the GNU.
No, but he said, in his words, he said, any member leader of the Patriotic Alliance, if Kenny Kunene is not reinstated, I don't want you to even stay another hour in your position.
We are off.
We're all
everywhere.
withdrawing. So I'm again asking the question, if 7 day lapses, are we going to see Gayton Mackenzie resign as Arts and Culture Minister?
Yes. If that's your
No, that's what he said.
Yes.
Haven't you heard his clip?
Yes.
Yeah, he said
I
that.
know, I was listening.
So he has to resign.
Yes.
That's only fair, right?
All of us.
He can't wait for another hour.
All of us, we must walk away.
Okay.
And Dada Morero must then be everywhere.
Okay.
Because we have been patient and now we are here.
Okay.
We are not lackeys of the ANC.
Let's see what happens. Just quickly, I've got 50 seconds here. You've been announced as the PA mayoral candidate for Johannesburg. You're going to go ahead with Helen Zille and other candidates that are going to be announced by other parties. Do you think you can take them on? And what's your message to the residents of Johannesburg? Why are you the person they must consider when we get to elections next year?
I think the DA insulted the residents of Johannesburg to bring an old age home to come and lead Johannesburg when she failed in Cape Town. That's
How
number
did she
one.
fail in Cape Town?
She failed in Cape Town.
How?
She was the mayor for the suburbs. She was not the mayor for Guguletu. She was not the mayor for Khayelitsha. She was not the mayor for Manningberg. She was not the mayor for Michelle's Plain and other places. She was the mayor for the suburbs. So she wants to come here and be a mayor for Sandton and Gauteng. We cannot allow that. So I know that the people of Johannesburg trust me. From the corners of Orange Farm, Soweto, Alex, Deep Sloot, Cosmo, Midrand, Sandton, Gauteng, people have been saying, we saw your work and your energy, your political will when you acted as the mayor.
Yeah.
And please, can you stand as the mayor? Will vote for you. So there is that confidence in Kunene because of what I have done. All these ones, Mashaba, Helenzil, they've been mayors before. What have they done? They've done nothing. And I've proven myself in 2 days, in 7 days, what I'm capable of.
Okay.
I have transformed the transport department. That is why the mayor has decided to act where I was, because that department is the most functional department in the city of Johannesburg. I've stabilized it. I have perfected work ethic there. That's why he's acting there. He's even forgotten the mayor is the MMC.
I'm out of time. But thank you so much for coming through, and all the best with your campaign to be the next mayor of Johannesburg.
Sharp Clemmy.
Thank you so much for making time.
Thank you very much.
And thanks to you for watching the Tuesday edition of Face the Nation. We'll be back with you on Thursday at 8 p.m. Have a good evening. Cheers.